The Grand Egyptian Museum, the world's largest museum dedicated to a single civilization, is now fully open to the public. Visitors can finally marvel at Khufu's solar boat and explore King Tutankhamun's vast gallery, showcasing over 5,000 extraordinary artifacts. Let's step inside and explore.
It is finally the full opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum to the public. So we are going to head down there and look at the new galleries, the solar boat, King Tutankhamun's gallery, maybe the walkway leading to the pyramids. There's a lot to see. I'm not going to waste any time. Yalla bina.
Before we get down to the Grand Egyptian Museum, the world's largest museum dedicated to a single civilization, I want to briefly show you the layout of the museum and the new galleries. These maps are included in information sent to you when you buy your tickets online, and I will also leave a link to the site where you can view them yourself. Today, we will be focusing on the King Tutankhamun Gallery and King Khufu's Solar Boat Gallery. If you'd like to see the museum in its entirety, you can watch past videos I have made about the museum and its other areas, which I will leave links to in the comments section of this video. These images are from King Tutankhamun's gallery plans. On the left, you can see suggested paths to explore the galleries with estimated time frames to experience them. The longer route explores the entire Tutankhamun Gallery and takes an estimated 2 hours, and the shorter route of 20 minutes explores only key areas of his gallery, such as the discovery of his tomb, his golden funerary mask, and sarcophagi. The image on the right shows seating areas, restrooms, and tactile stations. And here is a closer look at his gallery, divided into sections such as Discovery, which explores more about the finding of his tomb, Lifestyle, which looks deeper into his pastimes and personal possessions, as well as Rebirth, Funeral, and Identity. This video will be a mix of a bit of vlogging, but mostly scenes inside the galleries with some voiceover and explanations. With that being said, let's get down to the museum on opening day.
We have arrived to the gem. It is 8:10, so it opens in 20 minutes. There's already a crowd formed here. Very excited. All right, I'm not gonna film waiting, but I'll see you guys when we're heading inside or maybe past security. So we can either go to the Solar Boat Gallery, which is straight ahead here, or we can go up to King Tutankhamun's Gallery. What should we do first? It's so exciting. I guess we've made the decision to go to King Tut's Gallery first. Here we go. Wow. Straight into chariots. I don't know where to start. I think I'm gonna pass through a little bit first. I looked at it and it gives you displays on the ticket that you purchased, but it's just so big and totally empty. Funeral procession. Okay, let's go look at this first. Holy. Wow. Okay, I think I'm actually just gonna switch from vlogging to my camera phone. It's really empty in here though. I'm sure crowds will show up really soon. Lucky to be here right now.
We'll start our explorations of the gallery by beginning to examine the magnificent gilded shrines that once enclosed the sarcophagus and coffins of King Tutankhamun. Each shrine was nested within the next, like a set of Russian dolls, the smaller fitting perfectly inside the larger. Though they may appear modest in this photo, seeing them in person makes it almost impossible to fathom how these colossal shrines ever fit inside the small tomb of the boy king. The largest of the wooden shrines is 9 feet high, over 14 feet long, and 9.5 feet wide, weighing an incredible 1 ton. It is covered in protective inscriptions and thick layers of gold leaf, making it extremely heavy. This shrine nearly filled the entire burial chamber of King Tut, leaving barely enough room to move around them. Howard Carter, the archaeologist who discovered his tomb in 1922, had to dismantle them with his team piece by piece to access his sarcophagus. The second shrine is covered in the Book of the Solar Osirian Unity, where Ra united with Osiris to regenerate the universe by the end of each night. This also indicated the reunification of the body and soul of the king. The outside walls of the third shrine are decorated with scenes from a royal funerary text called the Amduat, and its doors are inscribed with spells from the Book of the Dead, texts meant to protect Tutankhamun's body and soul from harm in the afterlife. The ceiling and sides are decorated with images of winged goddesses, especially Isis and Nephthys, spreading their wings in protection. The innermost shrine is the smallest of them all and has a vaulted roof, like a pre-dynastic Lower Egyptian palace shrine. The walls show scenes of gods connected to the king's regeneration and rebirth in the afterlife, as well as spell 17 of the Book of the Dead. The goddesses Isis, Nephthys, Neith, and Selket protect the front and back of the shrine. Inside of these incredible shrines was a quartzite sarcophagus and 3 nested coffins of King Tutankhamun. The outer coffin, made of wood and then gilded in gold leaf, is decorated with hieroglyphic inscriptions calling upon various deities, especially Nut, Isis, Nephthys, and Neith, to protect the king. He's depicted as Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and in his crossed hands he holds the crook and flail, symbols of divine kingship. Upon his head rests the Nemes headdress, adorned with a rearing cobra and vulture, representing the goddess Wadjet of Lower Egypt and Nekhbet of Upper Egypt, symbols of the pharaoh's rule over both lands. King Tut's middle coffin is made of carved wood, overlaid with gold leaf, and then inlaid with colored glass and semi-precious stones. It is decorated with feathered and beaded patterns, imitating the protective wings of goddesses and divine beings. The innermost coffin is crafted from 110 kilograms of solid gold and is richly inlaid with lapis lazuli, turquoise, carnelian, quartz, obsidian, and colored glass. He is once again depicted as Osiris and holds the crook and flail in his hands, with the cobra goddess Wadjet and vulture god Nekhbet on his brow, symbolizing his dominion over both Upper and Lower Egypt. This coffin directly enclosed the mummy, wrapped in linen, with the famous gold mask placed over his head and shoulders. And now we have reached the area where the golden mask of King Tutankhamun is held. It is a spacious area, giving visitors ample room to admire his stunning funerary mask and take photos. The funerary mask of Tutankhamun is one of the most iconic and exquisite artifacts ever discovered from ancient Egypt. It is made primarily of 2 layers of high-carat gold, beaten and polished to perfection, and weighs around 10.23 kilograms. The mask is a masterpiece of goldsmithing, showcasing the extraordinary skill of the 18th dynasty artisans, and remains one of the most famous and beloved artifacts in the world. A symbol of ancient Egypt's artistry, spirituality, and enduring fascination with immortality. The funeral section of King Tutankhamun's gallery, which we have been exploring, is massive and also contains artifacts such as this gilded canopic shrine, which once protected the 4 canopic coffinets that held the pharaoh's internal organs, which were removed during mummification. The 4 goddesses, Isis, Nephthys, Neith, and Selket, stand at the corners, their arms outstretched protectively around the shrine. Isis and Nephthys represent mourning and resurrection, while Neith and Selket are ancient protectresses of the dead. The roof and doors feature imagery tied to protection and divine guardianship. These 3 standing bowls and statue of a cowhead were discovered by King Tutankhamun's canopic shrine. The bowls were likely used for incense, while the statue is thought to be Hathor, goddess of the West, welcoming the dead into her world. In Egypt, the West symbolized the land of the dead, because the sun setting in the west symbolized death and the journey to the afterlife, mirroring the sun god Ra's nightly descent into the underworld before his rebirth at dawn. These two guardian statues, sometimes referred to as the sentinels, are among the most haunting and symbolic pieces ever found in the tomb. They were discovered by Howard Carter in 1922, flanking the sealed entrance to the burial chamber, as if standing guard over Tutankhamun's eternal resting place. These guardians of the king's Ka stand at around 1.9 meters tall and are made of wood covered in black resin. In ancient Egyptian symbolism, black represented rebirth, regeneration, and fertility, the color of the Nile's rich soil, and of Osiris, god of the afterlife. The eyes are inlaid with obsidian and calcite, giving them a lifelike and alert gaze, and they wear the Nemes headdress, a pleated kilt, a broad collar, and gold armlets and sandals. The Anubis shrine is a wooden chest with a black jackal figure on top, representing Anubis, the ancient Egyptian god of mummification and protector of the necropolis. It was discovered in 1923 in the treasury of Tutankhamun's tomb, facing the sealed doorway that led to the burial chamber, as though Anubis himself were guarding the king. The jackal is made of wood, covered in black resin, with details in golded gilt leaf on the ears, eyebrows, collar, and the band around the neck. Its eyes are inlaid with calcite and obsidian, creating a vivid, watchful gaze. I am, of course, unable to cover everything in the funeral section, but I can say that the amount of items discovered in King Tutankhamun's tomb is astounding. Funeral couches such as these were discovered in his tomb. Featuring finely carved lionesses with blue glass noses and painted crystal eyes, as well as a cow goddess holding up a gilded sun between her horns. Small cups and new pots, which likely contained oils, liquids, resins, and makeup used during funeral ceremonies and rituals. Lamps in the form of ankhs wrapped around bronze wick holders found in the antechamber. And stone and flint knives used for the opening of the mouth ritual, which helped the dead breathe again. In the Rebirth section of King Tutankhamun's tomb, we find countless statues of all shapes, colors, and sizes. Statues depict deities such as this divine serpent, Netjeranch, who is known as the guardian in the underworld. And a statue of Tutankhamun is shown balancing on a skiff and throwing a harpoon. Every royal and divine statue found in the treasury has meaning. In this image, Tutankhamun is in the role of Horus, throwing a harpoon to kill a hippopotamus, an embodiment of the evil god Seth. In the Rebirth section of King Tut's gallery, we can also see solar and lunar boats. The king's destiny in the afterlife was closely related to both the sun god Ra and Osiris, ruler of the underworld. One important belief was that the dead king crossed the sky like the sun god Ra. Related to his daytime crossing in his sun boats, 2 lunar boats were also included in his tomb for his nighttime journey.
Oh my God, this gallery is massive. I'm going to go outside for a moment and have a break, and then I'm going to come back in, but it is just incredible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a very great video today because of the crowds, but if I don't, I will come back and film again, take my time with less people, and do a more in-depth video, but absolutely incredible.
Here we are again in the Grand Hall as I return from my short break of filming. It's now later in the day and the crowds have truly arrived in force. I later learned that an incredible 18,000 visitors came to celebrate this momentous occasion, the grand opening of the museum to the public. Back inside King Tutankhamun's gallery, we are now in the section dedicated to lifestyle. Here we can see a large assortment of sticks and staves, which were symbols of authority and were part of the normal wardrobe of elite males in ancient Egypt. Walking sticks were also included in the tombs of the deceased to help the deceased on their various journeys in the afterlife. Many of Tutankhamun's sticks were beautifully decorated with bark and ivory inlay. Related to the crook scepter held by the king, these curved sticks were another elite status symbol and display Asian and Nubian prisoners. A collection of decorative sailing boats is also displayed in this section. These miniature boats were images of what real sailing boats would have looked like in ancient Egypt. Some were ordinary boats used for transporting cargo, while others were used for hunting, fishing, fowling, or leisurely trips on the Nile. In this section, we also discover that Tutankhamun enjoyed camping, as seen by this folding camping bed with a hinge to make for easier transportation. And here we see a chariot sun canopy or sun pavilion, shaped like a lotus flower and made with gilded wooden poles. We can imagine how a thick cloth would have covered the top, ensuring the young king's comfort while out in the desert heat. Aside from camping gear, we are also treated to a display showing what the king was eating during this time period. From grapes and raisins to honey jars and biscuits made of milk, fat, eggs, and flavored with dates, Christ's thorn, and other fruits, these remnants give us insight into the diet of the ancient Egyptian elites. Loaves of bread made from emmer wheat or barley were also found in his tomb, which Howard Carter described as something akin to a petrified sponge. We can also see dome fruits, baskets containing safflower seeds, and strainers, which could have been used for beer making, although, surprisingly, there is no evidence of beer being placed in the tomb. Just across from this display, however, there is a large number of wine jars, stoppers, and shards which were found in his tomb. Stoppers were labeled with the vintage year and the name of the chief winemaker, showing a busy world of vineyards and winemaking in ancient times. Numerous baskets were also found in his tomb, as well as duck boxes containing meat. Moving through the gallery, we get a glimpse into the boy king's private life, with a section dedicated to pastimes and displaying items such as musical instruments and games. These silver and bronze trumpets were thought to have been used on the battlefield, whereas these gilded sistras, a type of rattle traditionally used by women in ancient Egypt, are thought to have been used by the royal women of the family during the funeral for King Tutankhamun, and then left in the tomb before it was sealed. A floral game box with 20 squares is decorated with poppies and lotuses, and it is believed Tutankhamun enjoyed playing this game with his friends. Further into the gallery, we see writing tools such as boards of glass, wood, and stone, and reed stick brushes and hollows filled with pigments, which were left in the king's tomb to use during the afterlife. Hones were left in his tomb, used to sharpen knives, razors, and other cutting tools. And still further into this massive gallery, we find jewelry decorated with scarabs and other images. Counterweights and ornate pectorals made of gold, silver, lapis lazuli, and amazonite fill an entire section of this gallery. Linens and loincloths were found in his tomb, as well as dozens of pairs of shoes, sandals, socks, and gloves. Even more fascinating are some of the clothing found in his tomb, such as this leopard-skinned cloak, adorned with silver and gold decorations, and this armor, made of red dark leather scales and sewn in overlapping layers, protecting the king's front and back from his neck to his waist. A glass display is filled with boxes, another with chairs and footrests, such as this chair made of papyrus, and this ceremonial throne made of ebony, alabaster, ivory, gold, and glass. Foreign prisoners are tied up under the king's feet on the matching footstool, symbolizing the king crushing his enemies anytime he stepped on it. Vases, pots, lamps, and other vessels fill glass cases, such as this beautiful lamp, whose image only appears when a candle is lit inside of it. During the New Kingdom, most interior lighting was provided by shallow bowls filled with oil and a floating wick. King Tutankhamun's fine lamps hint at the extreme luxury of the 18th dynasty royal palace, most of which has all but disappeared from the archaeological record. Beds and headrests can be seen. Weapons such as ceremonial shields, as well as military shields. A collection of large chariots, bows and arrows, throw sticks for hunting birds, and an impressive number of boomerangs can be seen. And so much more. The artifacts in this gallery alone could take you days to truly explore, inspect, and appreciate. It is truly impossible to show it all, but here are just a few last looks at the identity section of King Tutankhamun's gallery, where we can see his golden throne and footstool. The throne is decorated with King Tutankhamun and his queen, Ankhesenamun, standing under the rays of the Aten, done in the Amarna artistic style. And here are his crook and flail, important symbols of kingship and royalty, believed to have been used during his coronation because of their small size. All right, we are finally leaving King Tutankhamun's gallery. It is huge, it is massive, it is amazing. I came in here when the museum opened, but even they had the galleries open before, so I got in around 8:30, 8:45, and it is now 1:20. I'm heading over to the Solar Boat Gallery. However, my battery on my phone is dying, and that's what I've been using to record with. So we'll see how much we can do here. It is crowded now.
But I guess while we're walking down the stairs here to head to the solar boat, I should mention, for those of you that don't know or don't watch the channel often, that if you are planning a trip to Egypt and are looking for a tour guide or a driver, that my husband and I help with that. So he's Egyptian. I've been living here for 4 years. I've traveled all over the country. And yeah, I have lots of videos on my channel. If you haven't seen them, check it out. I think they're very helpful. And of course, you can travel the country on your own. But if you hi, so if you are listening, that was a subscriber I met. Hey, I already spoke to her earlier. But yeah, if you're planning a trip to Egypt and need assistance, you can reach out to my husband and I on WhatsApp. I always leave the number in the description of the video. So anyways, wow, it is busy here today. Look. It's so busy, it's crazy. I mean, of course, it's opening day at the Grand Egyptian Museum. Anyhow, we're gonna make our way to the solar boat and then we'll see if the walkway's open. Have a good one. Running into a lot of subscribers.
So crazy. I look all your videos on YouTube.
For real?
Yeah, of course. I look all your videos on YouTube.
Hey! No, you might not be in the video. I don't know.
I visit Egypt like...
Okay, we have just left the main part of the museum, the Grand Hall. Wow. That is beautiful. I heard this was representing the Nile, the water, and we have all of these statues. Looks like Sekhmet. Amazing. But all right, let's just go inside and see the solar boat. Welcome to Khufu's Boat Museum. Please walk under some original blocking stones to enter and discover the 2 boats that were buried beneath them. Tamam, Yalla. Okay, so these stones, the boat was buried underneath by the pyramids. Wow.
الطالب ده بصي خدي بالك هو واخد شكل الحفره بتاع
Hey, hi, Venture, right?
Huh?
Ventures, you are YouTube.
G Ventures, yeah.
Yeah, I saw your
Hi.
video to Cairo.
Thank you so
Very
much.
nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it.
I follow you.
I love that. So I've been running into so many subscribers today. I mean, it's pretty amazing. A lot of people apparently watch my channel. This is the place to be, of course, you know, at the Grand Egyptian Museum, the opening. So, yeah. Okay, here we are. Oh my gosh. You know what? This is too much to make for one video. I'm gonna have to make this video short and just, I don't know, it's hard. We're up. That is massive. Absolutely incredible. Ah, look at this. I was reading about how they reconstructed this and painted in resin. They didn't use any nails, just like the old ways thousands of years ago. Incredible. Those oars are massive. Oh my God. I don't think you can really understand the size of this thing on camera, but this boat, those oars even, are huge and crazy.
Khufu's solar boat is one of the most remarkable and best preserved artifacts from ancient Egypt, offering a vivid glimpse into royal funerary beliefs and shipbuilding skill more than 4,500 years ago. In ancient Egyptian belief, the pharaoh was closely associated with the sun god Ra. The boat would carry Khufu's spirit in the afterlife across the heavens each day, accompanying the sun on its eternal journey across the sky and through the underworld each night. It was discovered in 1954 by Egyptian archaeologist Kamal el-Malakh on the southern side of the Great Pyramid of Khufu at Giza. It was found sealed inside a limestone pit, completely dismantled into 1,224 pieces, but remarkably well preserved. The sealed pit had protected it from air, moisture, and tomb robbers for millennia. The ship was meticulously reassembled by restorer Hajj Ahmed Yusuf, taking over a decade of work. For many years, it was displayed in a special museum beside the Great Pyramid. Today, it is now able to be seen here at the Grand Egyptian Museum, allowing visitors to admire its immense size and fine craftsmanship. I would have loved to make a more detailed video of these new galleries, but I'm afraid I have simply run out of time for today. In my upcoming videos, I will be flying over the pyramids in a microlight and explaining how you can do this yourself, as well as exploring the Giza Plateau with a focus on accessibility for those with disabilities. I am then off on a motorcycle road trip around the Nile Delta, just to the north of Cairo, where I will be exploring and showing you local life, the Egyptian countryside, and many rarely seen and incredible ancient sites. So follow along for my journey. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like to help my channel reach more people. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one. Ma salama.